All right, here we go. So one of the things that my mentor taught me many, many years ago was that the way up is to help another man up. And that's been a philosophy of mine for some time now that I've tried to live by. For those of you who don't know who I am, my name is Dr. Rosalind Sharp Belt. Everybody calls me Dr. Roz, and I'm the CEO of Dream to Life Productions and Ministry. I'm a wife, I'm a musician, I'm a videographer. I used to be president of a record company, and that's one where I learned how to actually become a recording engineer, ran the recording studio there. I was a co-pastor for many years in a ministry that I was a part of for about 29 years. And I've got two doctorates. One's in theology and one is in divinity. So I'm not a medical doctor, it's THD. I dibble and dabble with web and graphic design, but more than anything, I love to teach, I love to inspire, I love to motivate people. And I am officially a licensed insurance agent for the state of Texas and the state of Georgia. Recently, I'm a network marketer. I'm so privileged to be an emerald here at Wakana. And just recently, I'm a certified wellness coach with Wakana. So let's get started about our Sales Academy. Because see, here's the thing. A lot of times when we hear the word network marketing, we get a bad taste in our mouth because of what we've experienced or because of what we think it is. And when you think about it, we all network. Everybody does. Whether you think you do or not, you network market. Because if I come to your city or your state and I want to stop somewhere and get something to eat, and you refer me to a restaurant, I go there, spend the money, they say nothing. They don't thank you, they don't send you a check. You benefit only from telling me about it. Well, you just networked for that company, but you didn't benefit. So that's what network marketing really is. It's referring people to something that's good or something that you like yourself or something that you've tried. We do it all the time with a product in the store, a recipe. I mean, we do it. But when you think about a company, you want to make sure that it's something that can last. And when we think about things that can last, what's important? Is it the products or the compensation plan? Is it the stability of the company or the opportunity itself? Or maybe it's your sponsor. Now, I believe that all of these things are really, really important because I've been with companies where the products weren't good or the compensation plan stank. There was no stability. It was here today, gone tomorrow. It even wasn't the right timing. And God knows, a sponsor who just disappeared on you or didn't help you out at all. But one of the things you have to understand is I believe in the principle of modeling. When you find somebody that's doing something good, don't be a hater, just find out what they're doing to make it succeed. Or when you find an industry or a company that is successful, what are they doing? So I'm going to ask you the question, what do these all have in common? These are football, basketball, and baseball teams. I'm a sports fan. You'll find that out about me by communicating with me at any length of time. But when you talk about sports, whether these are your teams, maybe they're not in your city, but the thing that they have in common is that they all have championship rings. Matter of fact, they have the records for the most championships in football, baseball, and basketball. Now, how is that possible? Because if you know anything about sports, they lose players every year. Players retire. Players get traded. Players get hurt. But they still find a way to win. How is that possible? Well, how is it possible that you can go to KFC in one part of town and go to another part of town and they still taste the same? How is it possible that the Frappuccino has the same number of squirts in it? How is it possible that the French fries, Lord have mercy, at McDonald's, no matter whether you go in this country or another country, taste the same? Or Chick-fil-A, man, they've got this thing down, getting through the line. It's because they all have a system. And not only do they have a system, but it's a duplicatable system. That's what makes a company successful, when they have in place a duplicatable system that anyone can do. No matter who you are, that's what this is. It's called our Sales Academy training. And see, the beauty of this, it has nothing to do with your skill set. So you may be a person who says, "Cause I'm kind of shy and I don't like to talk in front of people," or I don't want to be the presenter, or I just, I'm an introvert. I don't really like people, or I don't like to sell. All of these are reasons that we come up with But most of you have said yes to Wakanda because you're here, but now you need to know how to tap into our system. There are 10 points to our system that we're going to go through, and hopefully this will catapult your business to the next level. Point number 1, what is your why? Why are you here? Why did you join Wakanda? Why did you say yes to cannabis, to CBD? Why? Why? It's been said that if your why doesn't make you cry, it's not big enough. Because every day is not going to be Sunday. Everybody, let me tell you something, everybody you think is going to be in favor of what you're doing might not be the person who is in favor of what you're doing. You might not have the support you think, but your why has to be big enough to keep you going and to keep you motivated and to keep you chugging after it. See, my why, it's got to be big. It starts off being my husband. I want to retire him. He is so ready. I want to retire him so he can do the business full time with me. We can travel and do the things we need to do. Also, we love water. We love to travel. We love the all-inclusive places, resorts. We love cruising. And because I'm a musician and he loves music as well, we're in the process of building our own studio in our home. We want a state-of-the-art studio that I can begin to help people with their dreams and their visions in the arena of their music or their gift. And then we want to own our own supper club to give an exposure, a place of exposure for those gifts and talents. Live jazz, live R&B, live spoken word, live plays, all of that, and good down-home cooking. That's my why. But it doesn't stop there. Because, see, I know that I was created to be a blessing. And so because I'm created to be a blessing, I want to be able to give to whoever I want to, what I want to, when I want to, and I have to look at my bank account and figure out, can I afford to? What is your why? Your sponsor needs to know what your why is. And then secondly, you need to write down your goals. When you got here, what are your goals? What do you want to accomplish here at Wakanda? Now, you got to be specific. You got to be specific. We need to know the who, the what, the where, the when, and the why. Write the vision and make it plain. And then it needs to be something that you can measure. Not just something you throw out there. You know how you used back in the day, you write a goal down or a dream or desire you have, put it on the shelf, and you go back and pull it out, and there you see, oh man, you don't even know you've accomplished it. That's why you want to have concrete criteria so that you can measure your progress. I need you today to pat yourself on the back because you have progressed just showing up to this training. And then you want to make sure that it's something that's truly attainable. Now, come on, I'm not talking about, hey, I'm ready to be a millionaire. I know that. But you can't do that overnight. Or can you? I mean, you can make a whole lot of money here overnight, but is it truly attainable? I mean, does that mean you're not going to talk about anything else? You're not going to talk to your family. You're not going to talk to your husband or your wife. You see what I'm saying? It needs to be relevant. It needs to be relevant to you, to your lifestyle, to who you are, to what other baggage you might have brought when you came here. Yeah, I'm calling it baggage because you came here with some stuff. So your business goals have to be in alignment with your personal goals. Wakanda was not your main thing when you got here. Because you're married, you have a spouse, you have a business partner, you have a special person in your life, you have a job, you have a business. There's some other things going on in your life. So everything has to come into alignment. And then here's what gets us started, a grand opening. Now, who has a business that doesn't tell everybody you're open? Who has a business, brick and mortar, and doesn't put a sign out and say open for business or grand opening or some flags waving or some balloons streaming? You know, we need you to get some target dates, 3 preferably. We need you to do this right now. You can do this while we're talking. Pull up your calendar on your phone and pick 3 dates and let's get started because your sponsor's going to do the heavy lifting. They're going to do on those target dates a grand opening, whether it be virtual or whether it be in person, because we're, getting back to being present with people in your home, in a community center, wherever you choose to do it. But I mean, you can do it virtually. And they'll do the program. They'll do the presentation. They will do all the heavy lifting. What do you have to do? Invite your family and friends. Let them know you're in business. Because the worst thing in the world that can happen is they join another business or use CBD somewhere else only because you didn't tell them that you had a website, you had a CBD dispensary. And so I'm going to ask you, can we hold you accountable? That's what your sponsor wants to know. Can they hold you accountable? Now get this. There are two answers to that question, yes and no. And they're both right. Because if you say no, that's fine. But if you say yes, you just know this, that accountability is the glue that ties commitment to results. Number 3, protect your business. This is your business. When you joined Wakana, you paid for a dispensary and became a business partner with us, but it's your business. So you got to protect your business by getting certified. We have a certification that takes place every first Sunday and Monday, unless that falls on a particular holiday. It's a 2-day certification. It's a Sunday and a Monday. It's about 3 to 4 hours each. It's pretty, yes, it's pretty intense. There's a test that you take, yes, and you will pass it. Everybody passes it because it's open book, it's open video. You'll pass it. Don't worry about it. Yes, but you will be informed. And it's going to raise up your confidence level because it's going to help to keep your business and your marketing efforts legally compliant, because this is an industry of compliance. You've got to know what to say, how to say it, say the right things. All of that you will learn in our Wakana certification. And then when you talk to your clients and your business partners and your customers, they'll grow because if they ask you a question, now you can be able to answer them because you've gone through certification. And then you don't just go through that one certification that you paid for. You go through every certification thereafter. You're able to attend it. Now, you only have to take the test one time, but you want to stay up to date. See, I'm a licensed insurance agent, and I even have to pay for renewing my license every 2 years. Matter of fact, this is the year for renewal. And I got to take a test every single time just to keep my license. But here at Wakana, once you're certified, but you want to stay informed and up to date because we get new products. This is an industry of laws. The laws change from state to state. Different things take place. And that's why you want to continue to attend our certification. And the beauty of it, if you cannot attend them live, they're recorded. Even the first one, it's recorded. And you'll get those recordings in your email. Because normally certification is $199. But if you purchased the full crown jewel, the millennial, or the stimulus, or the founding members pack, guess what? It came with it. Matter of fact, if you got the crown jewel, you got 2 of them, one for yourself and one for you to gift to somebody else. Number 4, create your story. What do you mean, create my story? That's right. I wouldn't buy from anybody who doesn't use product themselves. You got to be product of the product. Now, you will hear testimonials all over the place of what this product has done for various people. It's hard to get on a presentation and not hear somebody's testimonial of how the CBD is helping them, how the tinctures or the gummies or the pre-rolls are helping them, how the flat belly lifestyle has changed their life, how their blood pressures have been regulated. We don't make the claims, but people do make claims. But you want to be product of the product. I'm going to say it again. I wouldn't personally buy from somebody who's not using their own product because we want it to be authentic. See, facts tell, but stories sell. Your people that know you, your sphere of influence is best activated by you because they're your friends. They're your coworkers. They're people that love you and care about you. They believe what you say. They may not know somebody else, but they believe you. They believe you're not going to lie to them. Number 5, make your list. Now, this might be one of the hardest things to get people to do because a lot of us are in the NFL list. If you've been around network marketing or MLMs or direct selling for any length of time, if you've been involved in any companies, you might be in the NFL list. The no friends or family left because they see you coming, right? I'm going to challenge you to ignore that this time. I'm going to challenge you. I'm going to challenge you to not prejudge anybody on your list. And I'm going to tell you, if you tell me you don't have a list or you don't know that many people, I think you're lying. Straight up, I'm gonna tell you just like that. I think you're lying. You know why? Because you got more than 100 names right here. You got more than 50 names right here in this telephone. In your Facebook page, you got names of people who've been emailing you, telling you to join this and join that and be in this cryptocurrency club and this and that and the other. Flip the script. Don't prejudge anybody. Why do I keep saying that? Because CBD needs to be in the life of every single person. This product needs to help bring balance in the lives of every single person. Everybody. And you don't know who is not sleeping good at night on your list. You don't know who's dealing with an issue that they haven't told you about. You don't know who's dealing with stress. My God, who wasn't during the pandemic, right? And our products help to assist in all of those areas. So don't prejudge anybody, because I'm going to say it again. Here's the worst thing that can happen. Somebody calls you up a month from now, a year from now, and tells you they've been going through this, that, and the other, or they've been dealing with stress, and somebody told them about some CBD, and they started taking it, and oh my God, it's changed their life. They got their life back. Their headache is gone. Their pain in their foot is gone. And they didn't buy it from you. Why didn't they buy it from you? Because you didn't even tell them you had a dispensary. You were afraid to let them know. And now they bought it from somebody else. Might be in the same company. Might be in another company. Because I have a girl right here in my team. She did not tell her next door neighbor. And when we had a meeting here in Houston, Texas, the neighbor came to the meeting, invited by somebody else. So make your list. Number 6, contact and invite. We learned this in our certification. Melissa teaches us how to chat. CHAT. It stands for choose, hello, add, and tag. See, we're talking about Facebook. Facebook has billions of people. Now, so, oh no, I don't use Facebook. I don't do social media. Well, guess what? Come out of the ice age and let's get into where we are in our society. We're in social media marketing. It's just there. You don't have to tell everybody all your business. No, you don't have to say, I just walked out the house and I'm going down the street and here we are in Hawaii. You don't have to tell people that. Okay, that's not what I'm talking about. This is about your business. You're going to choose 10 contacts a day from Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. They say Facebook is for the old folk. Instagram is for the new folk. Twitter, TikTok. I got all of them. I'm just saying. So choose some contact. Now, if you can't do 10, do 5. If you can't do 5, do 2. If you can't do 2, do 1. But you got to do something. You've got to expose who you are and what you're doing to people. And Coach Dan tells us it's not who you know, it's who you get to know. Because you'll be surprised when you jump on Facebook, you'll meet some folk that you ain't seen in 20, 30 years. I had a girl hit me up. She said, did you go to Southland Elementary School? Elementary? How did she recognize? She said, your mama used to fix good lunches. She did. So you go in there and you start communicating. It's not about just pushing your business, ladies and gentlemen. You got to do relationship. Hello, how you doing? Is everybody good in your family? Yeah, introduce yourself if you don't know them. You'll see people making comments about other things, and you chime in on those comments about what they're talking about. Don't just buy my product. No. Build a relationship. Even add them to our Facebook page. They don't have to join Wakana to be a part of our Facebook page. And then tag them. When you see a post on Facebook, tag them and let them know about things that are going on. Okay, so maybe you don't know how to do that. So I'll tell you what. Let's go to Facebook. And you'll see that this training is going to be interactive. We're going to make sure you know how to do everything we're talking about. So I'm going to go remove the Jeffersons. And let's go to Facebook. Now, when you go to Facebook, the first thing you see is the feed. This is called the Facebook feed. Now, what is the feed? The feed is where you see what everybody else is doing. So what I'm saying to you, don't get caught up here, because you'll get caught up seeing, what everybody else is doing in their life, and you'll forget what you need to be doing in your life. You can look a little bit, but don't stay here. Don't stay here. See, all these people are friends of mine some kind of way, and they got stuff going on. Look at that Kirk, baby girl. Kirk's daughter just graduated. Oh, congratulations, Kirk. But see what I'm saying? But what we're talking about is our group page. This little symbol here at the top with the three people, put your cursor on it, says groups. You click that if it's your first time, and you type the word Wakana. And you'll see Wakana for Life. Click that, and now you see Wakana for Life here, private group, over 13,000 members. That is our group page. Click that, and that's where you start seeing all of the activities that are taking place in Wakana. Now, you want to join this page, but you have to be invited. So your sponsor should invite you to this Wakana for Life page. Once you're invited and you join, it will say joined. Once you're joined, now you can do what we just talked about. Invite 10 other people. So we click this green button that says invite. And it's up to the people to accept your invitation. Now, they don't have to, but you put a check in the box, put a check in the box, put a check in the box, as many as you want to do. We said 10 a day, 5 a day, whatever you can do. Send those invites, click send invite. Facebook does the rest. They will send them a notification, letting them know you have been invited to this group. Again, it is up to them to accept. They may or may not. But when they do, now they are able to see all of the activities. Look at there. There's this training here. There is Gigi Harris, became a certified wellness coach. Congratulations, Gigi. There's me. There is our thing taking place in Houston, our meeting in Houston. See, so let's just say if you wanted to invite somebody that is your friend to our Houston meeting. Well, there are several ways you can do that. You can come here and tag them. What was that? C-H-A-T, tag. We talked about adding, hello, chat. That's just talking to people, right? And then tag. So how do I tag? I'm going to invite my husband. So A-D-R-I-A-N, okay. All you got to do is type a few letters, and if they're your friend, they have to be your friend, their name will come up. So Adrian Belt here, Adrian Belt there. Guess what? That's his son. So I'm going to click his name, and now I click my space bar, and I want to type, let's say if I did Adrian again, then that would be his son, or anybody else that you want to invite. Now you just keep inviting as many as you want, and hit return, and you're done. Facebook does the rest. Sends them a notification that you have been tagged. It is up to them to look at it, to join, all of that, to be exposed to it. If I wanted to expose somebody and let them know that Dr. Rita's in Fort Lauderdale Friday and Saturday, boom, I know somebody there, put their name in there. If they are your friend, it goes out to them. That's one way. Okay, so now I noticed that when I posted this the other day, somebody said, could I make this shareable? It is shareable on my own page. But here's another way that you could use anything that you see, whether it's a notification, whether it's just Dr. Rita teaching here about mitral and syndrome X. Say you wanted somebody to see this. You could come to this page, and I'm using a laptop right now. So it's a little different if you're using a tablet, of course you're using your finger. And of course, if you're using a phone, you're having to use your finger as well. Or tabs are a little different, and we'll try to look at that. But if you're on a laptop or a desktop, you come here to the particular graphic, because that's all this is. And if I were to click the graph, okay, I want to leave that page. There we go. So what I did was, let me go back to it. I clicked the graphic. It says leave the page. It says, and it opens it up. And if I right click, and if you're using a Mac, I think it's a control click. I think control click has your right click on a Mac. So if I right click, I'm going to click copy image. So I copy the image. Okay, so now, say I want to put this on my own page. I want to put this on the front of my page, because right now, where am I? I'm on the Wakana for Life page. All I've got to do is go to the right here where it says my name and click it. It says leave the page again. And now I'm on the front of my Facebook page. And I'm going to go here where it says what's on your mind. I'm going to open that up. I'm going to right click again, and I'm going to paste, and bam, look at there. There's that information about mitral and the syndrome. So it's the graphic that went there only, right? If I wanted more, I would have to go back and get the other piece and put it on there and add it to it. But I just wanted to show you kind of quickly how to be able to take pictures that you see or graphics. So like the person that wanted, let me go back to Wakanda, hold on a second. And once you're on the group page, it'll always be sitting over here under groups you've joined. So you don't have to type Wakanda over and over again. Now, because I go to these pages all the time, I just click Wakanda for Life under groups I've joined. And now I'm going to go down to this graphic of my Houston meeting. I'm going to right click, copy image, and you can even do save image. Save image would make you save it on your own computer. Now you got to have enough memory to be able to do all of that. But if I just hit copy image, then I'm going to click my name, leave the page, what's on your mind, right click, paste, voila. There it is. It's on my page now. So now it's going to go to public to my friends because it was on Wakanda's, but you want it on yours so you can reach out to your database of people on Facebook. And you hit post and it's done. So that's an easy way to pick up on different things that you see that they're nice. If you want to save them for later, you just do save image and now you save them. All right, so now let's look at one more thing while we're here. Let's go. And I'm going to do the same thing on the phone because I know that people sometimes are doing things on their phone and you have a little more difficulty doing them on your phone. So we're going to do the same kind of tagging, everything we just did on the phone. Now, I'm using an iPhone, but whether you're using an iPhone or an Android, you'll see the same things. The difference is that the screen is smaller, so that's why sometimes things look a little different. So let's go to Facebook. So there's Facebook. Now it's on your phone, and so now instead of at the top, like I was doing, the groups is down here at the bottom. You see it down here at the bottom. Groups. Now, if I didn't have my group already, I go up here to the search bar. Did you see the search bar up here, the top right-hand corner, little magnifying glass? You click that, and you would type Wakanda. But as you can see, my first one says Wakanda for Life, so I'm just going to choose that. And remember, it's the private group that's over 13,000. And again, invite somebody by clicking invite. The same process that we went through. There it is. Okay, if you're already joined, now you just scroll up and you see all of the activities. Now, how do I do the same thing I did before? Now I'm coming here, I'm taking my finger and I'm holding it. And when I hold it on my iPhone, I've got 3 little dots here in the top right corner, and that's where my choices are, to copy it or to save it. You can save it to your photos in your phone, or you can copy the photo, and then you can still paste it somewhere else. That's how you do it on your phone. All right. Let's go back. That's CHAT. Contact and invite. Number 7, follow up. This is probably the second hardest thing to do because we make assumptions. I learned from Dr. Pat, we create stories. We make up stuff. Somebody doesn't answer the phone, we've made up a story of why they didn't answer the phone. Or they don't want me to do anything. They're not interested. You made up that story. They didn't tell you that. And if they didn't tell you that, don't assume that. Because the fortune is in the follow-up. And sometimes You have to follow up at least 7 times. Let me tell you something, guys. Wakana's not important to anybody until it becomes important. And it usually becomes important when a person uses the product and their pain decreases or is alleviated. It usually becomes important when they get results. It becomes important when they make some money. So don't assume that because they didn't answer the phone or because guess what? Life does happen. Things change in people's lives. People can mean well. And so all I'm saying is stop so quickly saying, oh, they must not be interested. You don't even know. You don't know what happened. They might got a phone call. Somebody might be sick. They might be sick. Or something else is a priority. So that's the difference between following up and bugging somebody. You're not bugging them until they tell you you're bugging them. And then when somebody tells you they're just flat out not interested, guess what? Put it on the shelf. Because life happens. I've had people that told me they were not interested, and a year later they were. Why? Had a car accident, had a concussion, got a headache, and he wanted to know, are you still doing that stuff? Do you still have CBD? Will it help me? See, life happens. So don't throw them away. Just put it on the shelf. That's when you don't want to bug them because they've already told you that they're not interested. But just drip. Later on, 6 months, drip. Hey, our business is at 7 million. Drip. Hey, we've got a new product. Just wanted you to know about it. No pressure. Drip. Hey, we got this scan now. You might be interested in getting a scan for you and your family. Just drip. That's the follow-up. Okay? Then plug into events. Plug into events. Listen, it's so easy. Wakana has put everything in place. We got the calls, we got the webinars, we got the Zoom meetings, we got the trainings. All you got to do is plug into events. The more you can plug in, the better you are. Now, we know everybody can't plug into everything because you have things going on in your life. But so many things are already recorded that you can listen to them later. Now, one thing I admonish you to try to plug into is the Monday call. Monday through Friday, we have a 15-minute call every morning. It's a phone call. It's a conference call. On Monday, it's usually about 30 minutes because it's the company update. Just like when you're part of a business, don't you have one of those calls you got to attend every morning? You know, the company call? Yeah. Most of us have to do it physically. You have to be there. But it's recorded. So even if you can't make it, keep yourself up to date. Our CEO keeps us up to date on everything. And even what the top selling thing is now, we even know all of that. You hear the accolades of those who are achieving certain things. Come on now. You like to hear your name called. Yes, you do. Monday through Friday. Usually it's 15 minutes. On Monday, it's 30 minutes. Then every night, Monday through Thursday, there's some kind of webinar, Zoom, taking place for you to invite your guests, those people that you want to introduce Wakana and CBD to. Different flavors. So Monday night, party atmosphere, infused dining. Tuesday, the doctor's edition for the healthcare professions. You hear their language. They talk their language. Our medical advisory board. Wednesday night, training and why Wakana. Dr. Rita does a different teaching every Wednesday. Oh my God. Her repertoire of videos is over 100. I use it all the time. You can take those videos. Somebody says, will the CBD help with hypertension? Oh yeah. Hold up. Can I send you a video? You don't have to explain it. Let Dr. Rita explain it. She's the MD, even if you're an MD, I mean. But whatever it is, hypertension, your thyroid, you just need something on thyroids, MS, lupus, all of those are there. And if you can't find one, guess what? You can even send her an email at ritamd@wakana.com, and you'll eventually hear that teaching done. And then on Thursday, our Millennial Spotlight, Tariq and his wife are dropping the mic. Now they're doing some stuff in the kitchen. It's off the chain. Every Thursday night, you want to have your millennials in there, whether you're not, I'm a millennial in mine, so, you know. But you have them there so they can see their own age group in operation and know this is not just for old folk. Because there are more millennials using CBD and puffing and all kind of stuff and the pre-rolls and vapes than anything. And then on Saturday, sometimes you have people that say, well, I am zoomed out Monday through Friday. especially during the pandemic, everybody was having Zoom calls, or maybe they just, spent. And by the time evening comes, they don't want to look at another presentation. But Saturday at 10 a.m. Central Time. Put them on there with Minister Mooney and myself. We'll help you get the job done. And then this training takes place. And then every now and then we have what we call hashtag the Wakanda difference. That's about compliance. Because Dr. Joy Smith, she is our VP of compliance, doing a wonderful job. And now they will have those particular teachings regarding compliance. And then we have a conference 4 times a year. Health, wealth, legacy, and freedom. Here's my statement. Never miss a conference. That's all I'm saying. Because the conferences are off the chain. What you pay for the conference has nothing to compare with the information you're going to get. It's value. The valuable information you get, it's worth thousands of dollars. Because some of these speakers that come to our conferences, it takes $1,000 to sit in one of those chairs in front of them. And our conferences only cost us about $49, $69. They're virtual. They have been. We will soon start getting back together again. Oh my God, when we can rub shoulders and dance together, that's going to be good. But I'm sure we'll still have a virtual aspect to them as well. Health, wealth, legacy, and freedom. We just celebrated our wealth conference, 420, 3 years old. That's what we are. So we'll be celebrating the next conferences coming up soon. Number 9. If you can't do number 9, you don't have a business. Okay? Because you've got to be able to do 2 things. Enroll customers and enroll store owners or business partners. That's the bulk of what we do. One of the things that I love about Wakanda is because I don't have to recruit. The products recruit themselves. But I do want customers because I want every household, every person that has an endocannabinoid system to use CBD. But you got to know how to sign them up as a customer, or how to show them how to sign themselves up as a customer. It is not the job of our customer support to sign up your customers. That's not their job. Their job is to help them with their problems. Their job is to help them with their orders, whatever the case may be regarding an order, not to enroll them as a customer or a business partner. That is your job. So let's see how to do it. Okay, so let's go to the website. Here we go. All right, so let me close the Facebook page. And here's the website. Now, you have a website. When you signed up, you got a website with your name on it. See, at the top here, it says drroz.wakanda.com. You've got one. You put something in that enrollment part, and that's your website. That is the link that you get. If you want to get that link, just go up there, highlight it. All I did was click it. It turned blue. I'm going to right-click it and copy it. You can paste that anywhere you want to. Put it somewhere, put it in a Word document, put it in your email, put it somewhere you have access to it. And when somebody needs your website, copy and paste it just like I did. Click it, copy, paste, bam, send it to them. It sends them to your website. And then always tell them, make sure you see my name at the top, left-hand corner. Your name should be there. Now, this person says, I want to buy something from your website. So you sent them a link. What do you need them to do, or what do you need to do for them? Click sign in. When they click sign in, create a customer account right here in a gold bar. They can't just put an email and password because they don't have one. They don't have a password yet. Create a customer account. This is no different than when a person creates an account on Amazon. They create an account on any e-commerce site where they purchase things, whether it's H-E-B, whether it's Walmart, whatever it is. If you're going to shop there on a regular basis, they want you to create an account. So same thing here, create a customer account. Bam. It asks them a few questions. Their name, their email address. They create a password and confirm it. They have a secret question. That's for security purposes. There's a birth date they want to know because you have to be over 21. Your physical address for shipping purposes, billing, and shipping address if it's different from your physical address. And then put a check mark here for terms and conditions. And if they want to read them, click. It's clickable. The link works. Read all of that little fine print if you want to read it, and then click complete registration or test. And then the account is made. Absolutely easy, easy. And now they can shop. Matter of fact, if you have somebody you think is going to be a customer, create an account for them. Because they don't have to shop right then. But now that account is already done. And I have customers that don't do online stuff. But do they have a customer account? You're right, because I created one for them. Yes, I went in here and talked to them on the phone and got their name, email address, and I used a password that I'm going to remember because I know they're always going to call me to put their order in. They're going to send me a Cash App, or they're going to give me their credit card, whatever method they choose to do. But I'm the one always doing it, so I'm using a password right there for me to remember. Easy. Okay? And so the same, like I said, if it's somebody. Now, we've also been told that if you are sending somebody, for those of you that are not in Chicago, or you're sending somebody in Chicago to get scanned, create a customer account before they get there. Because if they buy something and they want to get something, you don't want them to have to take the time to put them into our system. Because once they have an account, it's based on their email address. Then they can go straight there, and when they upsell them, after they look at that scan and say, okay, I need to do that detox, I need to do that cleanse, bam, they're already in the system for you, right? So you want to do that. Create the customer account. Now, what about a distributor? So you've got a partner or someone that you've been talking to, and they've been attending some of our webinars, our Zooms. They came into a physical meeting, and now they're ready to become a business partner. They want to go further. So what do? Goal key. Click the goal key. There it is. When you click the goal key, now they pick a package. What package are they going to start with? The Crown Jewel Full, the Millennial, the Stimulus, the 50% down, or the free 30-day test drive. So they say, okay, well, what's in it? Well, here's the Crown Jewel. View details. Bam. Look at there. Details. Everything that's in the Crown Jewel. Oh, okay, so I want that. Select. Now, if they didn't have to read it, then you just add it to the cart. That was add to the cart because they already knew what was in there. And now you click complete enrollment. And when you click complete enrollment, guess what it does? Now it's time to create their website. This is the most exciting part right here because it takes place in about 60 seconds, or however long it takes you to type. After that, less than 60 seconds. Because now they put their email address. What do they want their website to be named? Like mine is Dr. Roz. What does that say? Not available. You darn right it's not available because it's mine. No two people can have the same website. So if I put Dr. Roz Loves CBD, now see, that would be available, but it's a little long, okay? But whatever they want. Sometimes they don't know what they want, and they've got to put something temporarily. Okay, that's fine, but you got to put something here. No spaces. No spaces, right? And it doesn't matter if it's, you know, capital letters, small letters. It's not case sensitive in this area. But you got to put something, and they can change it later if they want to. Okay, and then password. Now that is case sensitive. Secret question for security purposes. Pick one. Choose your social or your EIN if it's a business name. But just don't confuse them. If you choose personal tax ID, that's your social. If you choose business tax ID, that's your EIN. And then you may want to put it in your business name. So here, first name, last name. That's where you put the business name. Just know that whatever you put in first name and last name, that's what will appear at the top of your page when people see it. So if you don't want them to know your name, you're incognito, then this is where you change that right here. First name, last name. The middle name doesn't show up, so it's there, but it doesn't show up. So you could put Belt Enterprises LLC, or you could put Belt Enterprises LLC. However you choose to do it, doesn't matter. That's going to show up first name, last name. Then you're going to choose put your phone number, your date of birth, ignore the tax exemption part, your date of birth, and then your e-wallet. Now, here's something that's very important about your e-wallet. It is your e-wallet. It's where you get paid, guys. This is where your money is. So you must have a 4-digit PIN, 4-digit PIN. Please, 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 don't create a brand new number that you can't remember. Because you cannot call customer service and say, what's my PIN? This is your money. Only certain people can access that, our finance and our CEO. So you don't want to forget it. So I'm just suggesting, why not use the same 4-digit PIN you use for your debit card? Something that you use on a regular basis. But either way, put it under lock and key, put it in your safe deposit box, save it somewhere you can access it, a 4-digit PIN, because that's how you access your money. All your commissions will go into your e-wallet. And for you to get them out of your e-wallet to go into your checking account requires this 4-digit PIN. And then a secret question can be the same one and an answer. Your billing information, your shipping information, if it's different. And there's some agreements that you must acknowledge. Every time there's a purchase done, you have to agree to these agreements. And you must put a check in each of these boxes. Now, if you're a fine print person and you want to know everything about everything, click it. Cancellation policy, read it, read to your heart's desire. Refund policy, read to your heart's desire. Terms and conditions, policies and procedures, shipping policy, retail, 70% rule, and electronic consent. Very transparent, everything is right there for your reading. Now it's time to pay for it. Whichever package you bought, you can use a credit or debit card, and we take Visa, MasterCard, American Express, Discover. We also take cryptocurrency. So if you are in the cryptocurrency market and you have some coins, guess what? We'll take your coins. Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, all of these various coins we take here at Wakana. And complete your enrollment, bam, within 60 seconds, that wheel starts turning. And the next thing you know, your name or that person's name is at the top. That's how you know it's done. Plus they'll have a place where they can get a receipt emailed to them or printed. But their name is going to be here at the top. You've got a new business partner. You'll get an email stating all of that. It's fantastic. Now, here's another choice. Because sometimes you'll have a customer who is a customer, and they will decide they now want to become a business partner. You want that to happen. So let me see if I can find one of my customers. Let's see if I can get to it. And we can show you how to upgrade them, because that's what you want to happen. You don't mind that happening, right? They've been shopping from you, and now they want to have their own website, and we want them to do that. So let's go. Come on, jump in there. Come on. Treat me right today. Okay, slide's not working. It was just there. Let's try it again. Let's try it this way. No. Okay, there it is. Okay, here we go. This is a customer that I go to that just calls me up from time to time, and I put in the password that I created. And I use the same one all the time. We always have a CAPTCHA security code there. for security purposes. So now I'm signing my customer in. So let's just say they sign in themselves. This customer wants to upgrade from being a customer to now being a business partner. They go to their customer account. They don't have a website, but they do have a customer account. Look what it says. Become a distributor. Big old big blue box right here. Become a distributor. They click that. And the reason you do that is because they're already in the system. Now they pick their package. I'm adding the Crown Jewel package to the cart, just like I did before, complete enrollment. And voila. See there? Their email is already there. Their name is already there. So some things you don't have to fill out. Now they have to just put, what do they want their website to be, country, a few items, but the shipping information is already there. And do the same agreements, how they're going to pay for it, complete enrollment. And now that customer has upgraded from being a customer to now being a business partner. All right, now let's sign them out. Another example is, say somebody just joined with the free 30-day test drive, or they came on board as a millennial, or the stimulus, or the 50% down. And now they're ready to do what? Upgrade, right? So I'm going to sign, you sign in, they sign in. So like I just did, signed in as a distributor, because they are a distributor already. Even if it's the free website, they're a distributor. For 30 days, they've got a website. Now you want to upgrade. So I'm going to click the word shop. When I click shop, it's going to show me some other advanced options. Over here it says advanced search on the left-hand side, advanced search. I'm clicking advanced search. And now it shows me some more categories over here on the left-hand side. Categories. And two of those categories, I'm going to go click both of them at the same time. If it was a free website, if it was the free 30-day test drive, they've got to go to sign up packages. If it was a millennial or stimulus or 50% down, they've got to upgrade. So I'm going to do both at the same time. Click search. And now you'll see those choices. So now they could get the millennial, the stimulus, or the full crown jewel if they were the free, or if they paid 50% or 50% down. And if they had already paid 50% down, here's 50% down second payment. Or if they did the millennial or the stimulus, here's the upgrade dispensary. They're paying the difference. I love that Wakanda didn't penalize a person because that they didn't pay the full price. They didn't get the crown jewel the first time. I've been with companies that, you know, if you didn't get the full thing, the top package at the beginning, you got to pay extra. Here you pay the difference. And even if a person gets the test drive, let's say they got a website maybe and didn't do anything with it for a whole year, because you didn't pay anything per month, right? Well, you can reactivate it for $29.95, and of course they got to get some product when they reactivate it. But that's pretty cool. All right, so all of that is there. Okay, now let's do one more thing before we move on, because again, I know people still have problems when they get to this on their phone. All right, so y'all saw my husband right there, huh? Right. Okay, so let's share the phone again. Share. And I do this because so many people are using their phone. It's a lot more convenient, but the screen looks different. So a lot of things that we talk about here, you don't see it the same way, and people get kind of lost. So I don't want you to be lost. So now you have a browser on your phone. Again, I'm using an iPhone, so I've got Safari. You may have Google Chrome. I use this one called Brave as well. So whatever that is, that's called a browser. So that's how you want to go to your Wakana website. So you see there at the top, my name, Dr. Roz. Let me move that bar out the way. Okay, so now you see drroz.wakanaforlife.com. There it is, okay? So we first talked about signing up a customer, right? So we don't see all that same stuff across the top because we don't have a lot of screen, but it's all hidden. It's hidden behind this menu right there. Press menu. There's your login. Press login. Now, pull your screen up and everything else is there. Create the customer account and all the rest of that that we talked about takes place. Okay, let's look at that. Let's go back now. Creating the business partner. The gold key is right there. It's just not way over there to the right like that, but it is there. So I'm pressing the gold key and boom, you have to go up and down to see all the packages that you're going to add to the cart. There they are. Complete enrollment. It's still there, just hidden behind the menu. Okay, let's do one more thing. Let's go to menu, and this time we're going to log in. So I'm going to log in myself, put the CAPTCHA in, if my fingers do it correctly. Sign in, because I want to show you something else while we're here on the phone that we're going to talk about later. It's always a little difficult to find on your phone. So we click menu. Where's that shop? It's under main menu. There are all those shop categories right there, right? If I want to close that, all I do is I press it again. But there's another little menu here. See that menu there? Where does that take us? That takes us to all the stuff we're going to talk about later, to all your reports, your orders, your My Team. That's where your data viewer is, by the way, My Team. Go down there. But see, it's all under menu. It's so hidden that you got to go there to find it. All right, just wanted to touch on that while we were here so I don't have to flip back to the phone again. But I've shown you where it is. And everything else is there, all your products and everything. Everything is still there. It's just up and down. Okay? All right, so we are almost done with this. Got it. Number 9 and number 10. 10 is personal development. Hello. You stop growing when you stop growing. You always want to have personal development. Whether it's reading a book, whether it's, I love Audible. I'm attending conferences, all of that. And you should be doing that as well. You continue to better yourself. These are just some classic books that you can read. Have you noticed you can read one of these books 20 years ago, and then you read them again and you see things differently because you're different. You change. And then there's one that's not here that I'm going to recommend, and that's the Bible. All right? And here's my bonus. This guy named Bill Britt was a millionaire in Amway. But anybody know anything about Amway? That's an old company. People lost a lot of money. They had product in their garage that they never got rid of. So they asked this man in a radio interview, what was your secret? Because everybody else was complaining, but you became a millionaire. What's your secret? He said, there is no secret. And how many times do you sit and you hear people succeeding and doing things and breaking records in our company, and you wonder, how did they do it? What's the secret? There's no secret. They follow the system. He said, I simply showed the plan to 1,200 people. 900 said no. Only 300 signed up. Okay, now let's do the math. Let's do the percentage. How many of you, if you showed something, Wakanda, the 1,200 people, and 900 of those 1,200 said no, you'd quit or keep going? He kept going. He said 300 signed up. Of the 300, only 85 did anything at all. And out of the 85, only 35 were even serious. And out of the 35, he said 11 made him a millionaire. My God, 11 out of 1,200 people. But he became a millionaire. So what do we understand? It's a numbers game. He worked through the numbers. I'm going to ask you, if I came to your house with a truckload, a big truck load of rocks, and I dumped those rocks on your front lawn or your front porch or wherever is there in the front, in the street in front of you. But before I put them there, I put $1 million. And all you got to do is get through the rocks to get to the $1 million. Now, that's a lot of hard work. But see, that's the same thing we're doing. We're working through the numbers. So before you get discouraged to throw in the towel, have you talked to 1,200 people? If you haven't talked to 1,200 people, don't you tell your sponsor nothing. You gotta work through the numbers, because the success of your business is the speed of your business. You gotta keep the momentum. That's why you gotta get on these calls. I'm not saying you don't get discouraged sometimes. Sometimes you're like, my God, when is somebody gonna say yes? There's a book called Go for No. Keep the momentum. And it doesn't matter. You may be walking. Everybody here is now operating at the same pace, because some of you are doing this part-time. Some of you are doing this sometime, but you got to do it anytime. Right? The success of your business is the speed of your business, so you got to keep the momentum, whether you're walking, jogging, running, sprinting, or flying. Just keep moving. All right. I'm going to stop here because we got a lot to do. And if we have any questions about anything we've talked about thus far. Any questions? You can unmute yourself. I think you can unmute yourself. Yes.
Jump on every Saturday that I can, Dr. Ross, because it's amazing. I get some food every time I come on, and I just love you and love what you give to Wakanda. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Not a question, just a thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Any questions or other comments? Okay. All right. So something I want to show you guys today, I thought about this because I'm always trying to think about what are people having problems with, because they don't always say it. And before I get into compensation plan, I need to do this because it's important to know how to share what we have. And one of the things we have that I've put together since Dr. Rita has been doing her teachings is the YouTube videos. And often people say, okay, where are they, first of all? Okay, so Wakanda has a YouTube page, but I've put together a YouTube page that you have access to every time Dr. Rita does a teaching. Or like last week, Dr. Kim did the teaching. Oh, look at that over there, y'all guys. Oh, yeah, they got it set up over there. Anyway, so YouTube is accessible to everybody. And if I were you, I would subscribe to my YouTube page. So how do you do that? You go to youtube.com. And when you go to youtube.com, type in Rosalind, and you'll see Rosalind Shaw Belt. That is my name, full name. I think you can still type Dr. Roz, look at there. So when you click that, it brings you to my page. Now, my page has a lot of stuff on it because I got a lot of music and stuff, but that's not all accessible to you. Okay? But click playlists. Now, a lot of you just click videos, but I would suggest you click playlists. Click playlists. And you see a bunch of playlists. But go down and find anything that has Wakanda in the first name. Okay? Wakanda. And where am I going? Let's see. Oh, okay. So you want to click view.
So we're not.
Go ahead.
We're not seeing your screen.
Oh, shoot. Gotcha. Thank you.
You're welcome.
There we go. Now you see my screen. Okay.
Yes,
So,
ma'am.
so let's go back. So now you type my name in YouTube. You went to youtube.com, type my name, Dr. Roz comes up, bam, click playlist. Now you see a bunch of playlists, all the playlists. And there's, you don't see all of them. It says created. Then there's a little arrow down here on the right-hand side. So you just watch other, see how many playlists, so many playlists. But what you're looking for.
Let's go!
Didn't want to do that. We're not listening to Canton Jones. You want to look for things that are Wakana related, basically. Okay? So, and then if you click videos, the same thing will happen. If you subscribe though, and how, I don't know if I can even show you how to subscribe, but when you open up any particular playlist, let's say if I did, okay, when I go here to the library, and what I want to show you is Dr. Rita, because that's the one to me that is really of the utmost importance. And I want to show you this on your phone too, because a lot of times you want to send something quick to somebody. And I was telling somebody the other day, and they said, "Oh, that wasn't hard." I said, "No, nothing is hard when you know how to do it. It's hard when you don't know how to do it." So here's Dr. Rita. Okay, so it says Wakana Dr. Rita. Okay, what is it? 126, one of 126. That means there are 126 videos here. Somebody says to you, does Wakana help with your immune system? Boom, that's an old one. You can't control the virus, you can control the host. Does it help with lupus, arthritis? Does it help with, do millennials like it? Does it help with male menopause? I mean, you've got to take some time and go through here and see what's here. I try to put the name at the top so you can kind of immediately know. Neuropathy, Bell's palsy. Look at there. I mean, man, it's crazy. Okay, so now you found it. So I'm going to pick one, breast cancer. I'm clicking that. I'm going to hit mute because I don't want it to play. But underneath every last one of them, it says share. You see that? It says share. So I click share, and I can share it a bunch of ways. I can share it directly on Facebook, directly to somebody's email, or I can just copy the link by clicking copy, go to my email, whatever email client you use, Google, Gmail, Yahoo, MSN, Hotmail, click compose, who you sending it to, but go here in the body of the email, right click and paste. Bam, it's there. From YouTube to who you're sending it to. You're sending it to them by email. Or you're going to the Facebook page. And I'm going to go to a person who I'm sending it to. And I'm going to click where you type your name and stuff. And what am I going to do? Right click. And it, bam, it's there. And it will be there until you do something else, until you copy something else. No, you don't see anything. It holds it in the memory of your computer. That's for your laptops and tablets, okay? Let's do the same thing real quick on our phone, because a lot of times you're out and about, you're sitting somewhere with somebody, and you're having conversation, right? And you are at the tire dealership or wherever, getting your oil changed, and somebody's walking around in pain, and then you tell them, you know, I got something to help you with your pain. Can I send you a video? Bam. So now I'm going to my iPhone. Oh, share. Okay, going to my iPhone. And again, whether you have an Android or an iPhone does not matter. As long as you can get to YouTube, that's what you got to be able to do. Get to YouTube. Okay, so if you don't have YouTube on your phone, then that's what you need to do. Go to the store, Apple Store, and download YouTube. But you should have it on there. Most of them come with it, but it's free. Don't worry about it. Go to YouTube. Now, I'm on YouTube, and I happen to already be in a playlist. But if I came here, I would search and look for me, my name, and hopefully you subscribe, and you'll be easily, once you do it, you'll find it easier and easier. So the first video that comes up here is Tariq and Bree's Kitchen Lasagna. They did this last Thursday. But here's the video. I don't have to open it on, and it may be a little different on your Android, maybe. But here's the name of it. You see the name of it right here. And you see these three little dots right there? Press those dots. What does it say? Share. Okay, I share that. Look at here. I can share directly to somebody's text message. I click message. Bam. It opens up. Who do I want to send it to that's in your phone? Now you just put their name because they're in your contact base, and you've sent them a video. Now, I wouldn't just send them a video, but I'd go down here to the video. What did I just do? I press my finger in front of it. I hit return because I'm going to say, please check this out. Okay? Don't just send them a video and they don't even know it's coming. Talk to them. They're your friend. They're in your phone. And, of course, you got to put their name and stuff up there because they're in your database. And you can do that for anything that's in that YouTube list. There's the doctor's edition. That's just stuff that I already have in there because I watch these all the time myself. So I'm just telling you, it's so easy to be able to share Wakana with the world at the, right there with your hands. Boom. Okay, let me stop sharing for a second. Oh, click that. Stop sharing. Okay, was that good? Everybody get that? All right, Miss Gloria's smiling at me. Good, good, good.